mean that sincerely, goes to court, city court. We're never notified that the case is there. Somehow the county attorney's office handles that? The district attorney's office handles that. So they may notify
the corporation counsel.
No, it's a district attorney. They may or may not notify the corporation counsel. They certainly don't notify our counsel. They certainly don't notify the water department. So we don't know it's ongoing. So we don't know what the disposition of that case is, ever. And we had the case of, and Bill, you can speak to this better than I, we had the case of a New York City landlord that was stealing water. We couldn't have the police issue him a summons because he's out of Ulster County and they have no jurisdiction there. Is that not correct? So we could do nothing. So I would just like to go there, in the procedures that I've outlined here, you know, go there, document it, find them, give them however many days to correct it, and then $50 a day, which is what the charter says we can charge for a fine, and it can be a per day.
So would this be a policy or would this be a rule?
A policy adopted by the board. This is what we actually do now in practice.
If we're charging a fine, doesn't it have to be a rule or reg? How can you charge a fine on a policy?
I think in the rules and regs, any theft of service is currently outlawed in your rules and regs. You can't steal our water.
Okay. And
there is a clause in the rules and regs that say any violation of those rules and regs are punishable by a fine not to exceed $50 per violation and per day.
My understanding that is if you find a violation, if someone's violating it, you bring that to the attention of the board makes a determination, yes, they've committed a violation, and then the board assesses a fine against the consumer.
Okay? So we have a month goes by and nothing happens.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, that's...
So the board can come back and assess the fine from the day we find it.
Yeah, as long as you have documentation of whatever.
Okay.
Because you have your, upon discovery, personnel will take immediate steps to stop the supply of water.
You can do that.
Turn it off.
They do that.
If I have to, I'll get a backhoe and dig a hole in the road and shut you off at the water main.
Okay.
But yeah, generally it's a curb stop.
But how did they turn it on to begin with? They turned on the curb stop then?
Spin and Weber, $15. Anybody can buy one. It's a curb key. Yeah. Generally, it's contractors that are hiring. It's generally a property owner who's fixing up a property, and he's hiring day laborers, many of whom may or may not even speak English. They wouldn't even know. They need water to do whatever they're doing, and they just get it. They figure out either the water's off below where the meter should be, they turn it on, they go out, they jury-rig a key, they turn on the curb stop. Bobby goes by and how's the water coming? That, you know, that's how we discover it.
Well, I guess I got two questions, two issues in it. I got an issue where there's an abandoned house that's being in the process of being repaired, renovated, where the scenario you're discussing, where I get the ultimate choice would be to go and dig up at the main and turn it off at the main, which is what we talked about at the end.
Right.
And even at the end down here later on, you talk about
cost being levied against property owner.
Right, and then at that point in time, actually going and doing that, because I'm trying to understand.
Believe me, that's the last thing you really want to do, but you may have to.
Right, but also, didn't we also have a case where we had a piece of property that was actually occupied by people, and they were stealing water down here on the Ward Street or the Strand or something?
Hudson Street.
Hudson Street.
We had another one recently. We had 2 apartments. A person cut a house into 3 apartments, had meters for 2 of them, and one guy was getting free water. He was the New York City landlord. We couldn't do anything to him.
Was he tapped in before the meter then?
Well, Judy, you can still, if the board assesses a violation, it still goes on their water bill.
Absolutely. It just delays. There's no difference to this policy. It just delays it by a month. That's fine.
And every time that someone does something, if you went out and you found someone had opened up a main and they were using it for, like you said, during construction purposes, and your men went over it and they closed it, they go back and it's turned on again, this is violation number 2.
Absolutely.
3, 4. So now you come to the board of 5-month list, we have
Absolutely.
Ray on 165 Blank Street. He's done this 3 times. The board votes on it, says, yes, we're going to assess a fine of $150 because he did it 3 times based upon what he said. He goes on his water bill, his next water bill is going to give him a $150 fine.
I would like to be able to send these people, though, a letter as soon as we find. I don't want to have to wait.
Sure,
And I'll word the letter
Have to
such
be
that.
certified too, for them to make sure that we make sure that they have gotten it.
Yeah, you don't need
No.
anything from the board to do that.
Right, and tell them that they have X number of days to cure. If they don't,
Yeah.
that's another violation. But, and I don't have to be very specific on, this is the fine, so you're gonna be subject to fine levied by the board at their next meeting, and then they'll know.
And we're limited to only $50.
Yes, that's
Current
unfortunate.
charter, yeah,
And where is that specified?
it's in the charter.
In the charter,
Per day.
The city charter.
you could be per day, though, you're fine. You can
It's
be
per violation.
per violation per
Per
day.
day.
Per violation, so.
Yeah, so you could really rack up those
It would
fines.
have been nice with the last charter referendum that we could have increased that. You know? We went through the whole process of putting it on the ballot, and it would have been nice to be able to have the opportunity to increase the fine more than $50. I mean, that, you talk about antiquated fines.
That could probably change by local law.
Think so?
Good luck.
How do you track when it actually started?
Well, you don't really. You
Each violation.
have to
Well-
document the first, I mean, it could have happened.
Good.
Somebody drove by and saw it, who knows how long it
Well,
took?
I mean, we keep records, obviously, so we know the last time we actually got a meter reading. Could be 5 years.
Yeah, but you can't make the assumption that it was turned on one day after 5 years ago now. Because you need to prove to me.
What we've done is we've gone and seen when they pull building permits. There's a date.
Yeah.
So we've done all those other things. What I don't ever let people do is say, well, I only use it to mix this much. Hey, if you wanted to tell me how much you were using, you should have a meter.
Oh,
So I'm going back 2 quarters, and if you want to argue, go argue with the board. I've told people that.
well, I have no problem with you notifying them in writing
Okay.
immediately
Yeah.
by registered mail or certified return receipt.
We just need a clear policy of what we want to do, what we have to do, because what we have right now is just, it's not working. I mean, you know, I waited an hour and a half one day to have a cop come out and tell me he wasn't gonna do it. I was like,
Well, that's the criminal violation, but you still have the penalty by the board, so when you have.
clearly, I'd rather just deal with that.
And if the board
Oh, most
issues a violation, it's
It's easier.
fine.
I mean, they're 2 different things. One is a
Criminal.
criminal and this one is a administrative.
It's like the guy that hooks up the cable vision box. It's the same thing. Theft of services, he hooks up the cable vision box, cable vision sees it there, they disconnect it. They're not gonna get $90 a month for the last 2 years. The guy's been taking it in the city court. But if they wanna sue him, if they can prove it's been on since January,
No.
I mean, I have no problem with you even going in and making arrangements to shut the guy off.
Only the guys.
They do that.
They do that, they shut them off.
No, I mean, terminating him back out at the,
You know, you want, if, the way I look at it.
So it's a
if-
cost
if-
versus the,
Well, it is, and you're digging up the
Yeah.
road, then we gotta repair the road and all that nonsense, and then you gotta put it on his bill. And if the guy's trying to fix up a property, we're gonna get more money out of it if he's got 3 families living there than we are, you know. And generally, it's not a willful thing, it's usually, they just don't know.
but if it was a big one, it might be worth it.
but everybody has a corporation.
They're supposed to, they don't all have
Okay.
them. We can't all find them, but yeah, they're supposed to have them.
I mean, so that's the simple solution is when you determine that there's stealing water, is you turn it
We
off
turn them on.
there. And hopefully he doesn't turn it back on.
Oh, we send somebody back every day to check.
Okay.
Because, you know, I think they should go to the electric chair for stealing water. So, it's okay. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. We'll
And I
do-
guess the question really is then, the person who you're contacting
We're contacting the owner of record that we have in this department. We only bill the owner.
right, okay. I
We don't
mean,
bill,
you check with property tax people to see who they have as the,
that's where we get our records from.
okay, right. I mean, as opposed to saying that Joe Smith owned this and...
No, property, we get all the property transfers.
Okay.
We have to,
Okay,
because we only bill owners of record. We don't bill tenants,
okay, good.
so. And if there's a question, the assessor and they go back.
Right, okay, good. I just don't want to be using, you know, the person of record was 5 years ago. And
Oh, no,
you
our
just-
records are more up to date than theirs,
Okay,
because we bill
good.
quarterly.
Just
No, no.
clarification. Okay, perfect.
No,
Okay.
that's not an issue.
Okay. You don't need me, do you?
We're all set now?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I apologize for leaving those off the agenda. I included them in the packet.
Oh, don't worry, I had it written down.
Executive session.
We're going to
And
superintendent's report, right?
Superintendent's report, read and file. Everybody read it.
we need a motion to approve it.
Yeah. I'm
We
gonna put the wrong
approve.
thing there. Let me look.
We approve? Okay.
Well, hold on, let me get my thing out here.
1, 2.
Hang on, it's got,
Hold on, I didn't get the right piece of paper. Just and this is probably a question to Al. The people who pay their accounts by credit card, is there a reason why it fluctuates as much?
It's randomly, you know, what people decide.
Okay, just seems weird that in October there were 81 and May there was 28. You'd
people
think
stop
that
it, people stop it.
People,
No, we're
I'm talking about
credit card payments.
credit card payments.
Right, not the same people aren't billed every month. We bill quarterly.
Oh, okay, so the people just happen to be I go back from October, 3 months,
Right.
theoretically it should be about, just a curious.
But the number of the people who automatic bill payment, that fluctuates based on, because sometimes people stop it for whatever reason.
Okay. It's just
Yeah.
curious to me that, you know, you see 64, 64, 60, 61, saying, oh yeah,
We bill
you're getting
quarterly.
about the same amount each month you're getting, and then all of a sudden I see a 28, and then I see an 81.
Right,
It's
look at
like-
the demographics in the zone. Now, 81, that's because that was when they did the tax roll. You got notification that you were going on the tax roll.
Oh, okay, so.
So a lot of people came in here and went
Yeah, on the
online and
credit
did the credit card.
Okay. The tap that was made at 15 Down Street, what was
That's a
that?
mosque,
Oh, okay, because, you know, it's a 4-inch tap. I said, wow, that's a
it's a mosque.
huge.
That's the old funeral home.
Yeah, but why a 4-inch?
Fire protection, that, I got,
Oh, okay.
the engineering plans done by their fire protection said they needed that size main.
But that was a sprinkler connection, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a fire protection line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think the national code stipulates maybe that might be the minimum size,
Yeah, I just,
I think. Anyway, that's what that was for, that went off pretty well.
okay.
That's a big tap.
They're my only questions.
Ready to
It's
adjourn?
nice to, we had the breakdown,
Slow down, slow down, Joe.
What?
the breakdown of the cost.
Oh, of the rate, water rate?
It was good.
Kevin's been tracking that
Oh, yeah, I
for
got a
us.
question.
That was pretty good.
So, the cost for the firm to come up from Vineland,
Vineland, New Jersey,
New
yeah,
Jersey,
$39,099.26.
okay, I just wanted to make sure that was,
That's them,
that's them.
that's
okay.
them. That should have been labeled, I will have,
Yeah, labor, materials, and equipment,
that
to
should
me,
call line stop.
yeah, or contractor.
Yeah, that was that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good, yeah, that was, just wanted to make sure it was included in that, and that we weren't looking for
That was our,
another bill
no, that, I believe.
beyond that, okay.
That we hired somebody to pave,
Yeah,
because
Martina.
we don't have the, equipment to pave a hole that large.
The city couldn't do that?
City, A, they won't do it for us, and B, I don't believe they have the equipment to do that
Either?
either. Don't believe so.
Really?
I believe that their roller is only slightly bigger than ours, the small stuff. They contract almost all that out.
Okay.
They used to have all the equipment, and that was also, and not recently.
Yeah, it would be nice that we could share some services here between agencies, I mean,
But I don't think they have the capability to do that
okay.
any more than we do.
I mean,
I mean, we do our small holes, we have a roller,
right, yeah.
our guys do a great job, but if they had done this one, it would have been like wavy gravy, it wouldn't have been working, it wouldn't work.
Martino did a nice job. 'cause I
He did, and that's what he does. So,
So we need to accept the
Yes.
superintendent's report? I'll move to accept it.
Yes, accept the financial report.
I'll second.
Second. Motion made and second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Objection? Okay.
Go to executive session?
and the,
Executive.
I believe it did. I'm not positive. I looked, it was before my time.
Do we need an executive session?
Yes, we do. We began contract negotiations with the union, and I wanted to just fill you in on where we are.
Okay.
Will we go into executive session?
All right.
I'll second that motion.
Dennis, that we go into executive session?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Objection? No. Carried. All right.
Public comment for myself?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My name's Clark Richards. I reside in the city of Kingston. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm trying to do both. But I just wanted to, they'd seen me before. I just wanted to give you some information. I've been listening to your council, and this is also off the website, it's Open Meeting Law, in regards to that, and I would just like to say, if it's possible, that you can also, in the agenda minutes, include Clark Richards as filming, because this is also records minutes.
Okay, can I ask a question? Where do you post that? How do I get a hold of that?
Okay.
Is there you have to, I'm old, you have to be kind to me. How do I would like to put that on our webpage, a link to your YouTube, so people can go to our webpage and say, hey, Clark, this is filmed, how do I look at it?
It's on YouTube, and all you have to do is search Kingston Water Board, the date that you want to search of the water board.
Okay.
And then hashtag Kingston, New York.
Okay, and then I can put that link in.
And then I can also give you an email directly with the link
Okay.
of the channel itself.
Right, I would be helpful to our customers to be, if they want to see what we do, to be able to not only have to just search for YouTube, but to be able to go to our webpage and say, there we go.
Right. That would be nice.
I mean, you know, Bill and I were talking about that, it would be a nice service for our customers, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Clark, do you have my
Motion to
email?
adjourn?
Hang on, let me get my card now.
We adjourn, Judy?
We're
I have
adjourned.
nothing, sure, I mean,
Okay.
We're
Thank you.
adjourning.
Motions?
Somebody.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
All
All in favor?
Aye.
Objection? No. All right, let's go.